Ahead tonight, find out when government plans to issue gaming licenses. A daring daytime robbery at a major food store. And the Bahamas helping one of its CARICOM colleagues in times of disaster. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Everyday.
We now know when gaming licenses will be issued for web shops to operate legally throughout the country. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chris Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. The minister responsible for gaming, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe, says although the process was delayed, government has been moving forward to implement a more detailed plan than initially expected by meeting with experts from South Africa and the United States to arrive at an effective and successful conclusion. He says all of the operators, staff, and procedures have been intensely scrutinized to ensure a world-class operation. Clint Watson tells us tonight, though, that some web shop operators, although receiving a license, may still be forced to close down certain locations.
We're now just weeks away from the issuance of those web shop licenses. Minister responsible for gaming, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe, made the disclosure this morning.
We're hoping that during the course of this month, September, we'll be able to tie up all ends, and during the month of October, we'll be able to begin the process of licensing. The final process has much to do with looking at the locations.
And the location of these web shops are all a part of the zoning aspect of the law, ensuring they're not in school zones or certain residential areas. This analysis, though, could force a closure and removal of a number of web shops that are outside of the zone. Minister Wilchcombe says it will require dialogue.
What we want to see is a system, an operation that allows for proper control. We want to make sure that we are not allowing for growth of the gaming houses against what we had promised. We want to make sure that they're in areas. It's better to have them in areas where shopping malls or shopping centers or shopping areas, generally used areas, as opposed to residential areas, as opposed to areas where the children attend school. So we're paying close attention to it, but as I've said, we'll have to see. And of course, the movement may require us giving a person a period of time to wind down a particular area and move into another area.
The licenses will require renewal on a regular basis, but there will come a period where licenses will not be issued.
We are intending to have a period of time for moratorium where there'll be no additional licenses, but at the same time, the licenses will be under the subject of scrutiny at all times. Of course, you know, people have regs they have to live up to, and we're going to be monitoring them, and each year we're going to be looking at where they are, seeing what they're doing to ensure that they are fulfilling all that is required under the regulations.
The gaming minister says at the end of the day, they want to ensure they're fulfilling everything the legislation says and are not fostering the proliferation of another illegal operation. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
Movement has picked back up on the process to identify another cellular company that will compete with BTC. Last night, the Cellular Liberalization Task Force advised that the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, or IRCA, resumed Phase 2 of the competitive selection process for the second cellular mobile provider. The task force confirmed that an auction will take place in September. Back in April, the task force announced that Cable Bahamas Limited and Virgin Mobile Bahamas Limited had both moved forward to the auction phase of the selection process, which was scheduled to be conducted by IRCA in May. However, that was postponed. You may recall, IRCA launched an investigation into the purpose of several electronic communication towers that had been or were being constructed by Cable Bahamas throughout New Providence. IRCA has concluded that Cable Bahamas did commit a breach of the auction rules, but it did not warrant disqualification from the process. Cable Bahamas has been fined and Phase 2 of the process has resumed. The next steps after this phase will be to determine which company has the highest combined score from both phases. That applicant will form the new license company under which regulations must be majority owned by Bahamians. Former Attorney General and Minister of Education, the Honorable Alfred Sears, will be an observer during the elections in Trinidad and Tobago on September 7th. Sears accepted the invitation by Commonwealth Secretary General Kamalesh Sharma to be a member of the organization's observer mission, which was established at the invitation of the Trinidad and Tobago government. The mission will consider the various factors impinging on the credibility of the electoral process as a whole, determine if elections have been conducted according to the standards for democratic elections, and will act impartially and independently. The mission's work began today and will conclude on September 10th. Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Prasad Bisesar, currently leads the People's Partnership, a coalition of 3 parties in that Caribbean country. In a brazen midday robbery, an armed gunman held up a cashier at Super Value on Blue Hill Road and Ponciana Avenue today, robbed her of an undetermined amount of cash. Customers in the store were also held at bay. Chief Superintendent Clayton Fernando of the Central Detective Unit told our news team that the man wielding a handgun was accompanied by another man possibly serving as a lookout. As they entered and exited the store, they ran into the Engliston area. Police searched the area for the men who wore dark clothing, one described as tall and the other short.
It's a very bold armed robbery. As you can see here, this area stays busy. It's busy now, and persons are moving about, very bold, and we are concerned about that. And officers, this is mainly a corridor for police passing up and down in this area, saturated patrol. And what you expect to happen, officers are passing and a lone gunman is running out of the store after robbing. What you expect to happen? Won't there be a confrontation with the police in trying to ensure the safety of members of the public and to try to apprehend the offenders?
Chief Superintendent Fernandez says employees and customers were shaken up by the incident, adding that it could have been anyone's family member caught up in the robbery. He says police will continue to pursue lawbreakers aggressively to ensure safety on the streets. In the meantime, Fernandez says police have information that will assist their investigation that may be revealed to the public.
We have significant leads. We have some footage that we are viewing at this time, and once we review them, if it's good for the public, we will present it to you so the world, so the nation can see who these individuals are and to assist in trying to bring these individuals in custody before they try again.
Meanwhile, a man is in custody for questioning following the country's latest murder at a home in Jubilee Gardens early this morning. According to Chief Superintendent Fernando of the CDU, officers responded to reports of a gunshot at a residence on Virgil Boulevard around 3:30 this morning.
They met a young man, appeared to be in his late 20s, early 30s, lying on the floor of this residence, the front area, suffering from what appeared to be apparent gunshot wound to the head. The only information that we are working with at this time, he was at this residence asleep on the front room floor along with his girlfriend when she was awakened by the sound of gunshots. When she got up, she realized that her boyfriend was shot. The front door to this residence was left open. We are not sure of the motive at this time. That is a line of inquiry that we are working on at this time.
Bride Couture, downtown Nassau on Parliament Street. Begin your happily ever after at Platinum Bride Couture.